Sunday is the final day of Russian presidential election in which incumbent Vladimir Putin is expected to secure yet another term in the office. Moscow accuses the West of encouraging extremism at the presidential election in Russia as over 20 regions detained people attempting to pour dye into ballot boxes or set polling stations on fire. DD India's Dasha Charnishova has more about the voting on the second day.
The turnout in Russian presidential election on the second day of the voting reached 55%, according to the Central Election Commission. Authorities say they recorded thousands of attacks against the election cyber infrastructure, as well as the websites of the state services and the ruling United Russia Party. Several attempts to interfere with the election process have also been recorded, including attempts to put dye into the ballot boxes. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said that the Western countries are encouraging individuals to extremism at polling stations. In the meantime, Ukrainian shelling in the southern Russian city of Belgorod killed 2 people. A drone attack caused fire at a Russian oil refinery in the Samara region. And Russian Ministry of Defense said it thwarted yet another attempt by the Ukrainian armed forces to cross the Russian border. Moscow says the purpose of strikes on Belgorod was to disrupt the course of voting in the Russian presidential election. But authorities in Belgorod say the turnout is nevertheless over 70% already. Dasha Charnishova reporting in Moscow for DD India.
And one of the Russia's presidential candidates, Leonid Slutsky, voted with his mother Natalia Kabanova at a polling station in Moscow on Saturday. Slutsky is the leader of the ultra-nationalist Liberal Democratic Party of Russia. He took over as the party's permanent leader after the LDPR's veteran firebrand leader Vladimir Zhirinovsky died in 2022. Slutsky has long chaired the Parliament's International Affairs Committee. He has spoken of the need for Russia to win in the conflict with Ukraine and of the importance of keeping food prices down. And the Russian Defense Ministry released a video showing a military personnel casting their ballots during early voting for the country's next president on Wednesday. The military personnel of the 29 Guards Combined Arms Army of the Vostok group of troops took part in the rare areas of Special Military Operation Zone. The voting was organized at mobile polling stations in the rare areas of the Special Military Operation in full compliance with the requirements of the law. Now, Russia accused Ukraine of using terrorist activities to try to disrupt its presidential election on Saturday. Former President Dmitry Medvedev criticized protesters for setting fire to voting booths and pouring dye into ballot boxes. The Russian Foreign Ministry reported that Kyiv intensified its terrorist activities during the election and requests more financial assistance and lethal weapons. The head of the Electoral Commission, Ella Pamfilova, said that in the first 2 days of voting, there had been 20 incidents of people trying to destroy voting sheets by pouring various liquids into ballot boxes, as well as 8 cases of attempted arson and a smoke bomb. Medvedev warned those responsible could face treason sentences of 20 years. And Ukraine's Interior Minister Ihor Klimenko visited the wounded on Saturday following a deadly Russian missile attack on Odessa. A video released by National Police of Ukraine in Odessa region showed Klimenko visiting the hospital. The minister instructed his ministry to review and amend the emergency services approach to emergency response, taking the situation on the ground into account. A Russian ballistic missile attack struck a residential area in the Ukraine's Black Sea port city of Odessa on Friday, killing 21 people and wounding more than 70. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised his armed forces, security service and main intelligence directorate for the new Ukrainian long-range capabilities and said Ukraine can exploit Russian military ability with their weapons.
In the recent weeks, many have already seen that the Russian war machine has vulnerabilities and that we can exploit these vulnerabilities with our weapons. I thank the armed forces of Ukraine, the security service of Ukraine, the main intelligence directorate for the new Ukrainian long-range capabilities. Of course, thanks to our defense industry complex Everyone working for the Ukrainian strength, because what our own drones can do is truly a long-range Ukrainian capability. Ukraine will now always have its own striking force in the sky.
Україна тепер завжди матиме свою власну ударну силу